of psychosis. You think I'm ready to be back in public again? You need me to hide myself, 'cause I can't show you anything else. Just put that all away and pretend for me. 'Cause when I put that mask on, I'm not human anymore. 'Cause when I put that mask on, I'm not human anymore. I'm a kiss until you die, die, die. 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 I'm frustrated, over-medicated. You got me feeling like no one really cares. You need me to hide myself, 'cause I can't show you anything else. Just put that all away and pretend for me. 'Cause when I put that mask on, I'm not human anymore. 'Cause when I put that mask on, I'm not human anymore. I'm a kiss until you die, die, die. I'm a kiss until you die, die, die. I'm a kiss until you die, die, die. I'm a kiss until you die, die, die.
Hello, we are live. How is everyone tonight? Hope everybody's having a good Thursday night. Let's do a couple of shout outs here real quick before I start. Some people who are already here hanging out in the chat. We've got Adam Jeffrey. We've got Febzer over on Twitch. RJ Skarinki. There's Nico. Nico, how you doing, man? Danny, how you doing, Danny? Dr. Strange Love. How are you all doing? Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring on the panel tonight. Hey, Dave, what's up, man? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Joining me tonight, all the way from the UK, the real Fifth Beatle. Mike, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Piz? All good, man.
How's everything going over in the UK?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. You know, COVID is finally backtracking now. We're pretty much back to normal in the UK.
Oh, that's good.
You know, yeah.
That's great, man. So are you movie theaters open?
Yeah. Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, he basically taken us completely out now. So there's no masks, full capacity in stadiums, everything, you know, which is more going to be said for the rest of Europe. So yeah, it's all good in the UK at the minute.
That's good. That's good. That's awesome. Well, it's good to see you, man. Let's see who else is with me tonight here from the Flesh Wound Features YouTube channel. We've got Dan the Man. How's it going?
It's going. How are you doing, Piz?
Doing very well, hanging in there. What's the world like in your neck of the woods?
Not too bad. We've been back to normal in Georgia probably for like a year, so it's not too bad here. It's a big wrestling week, so I'm excited for the Royal Rumble and
the Rumble. Okay.
yes.
What night is the Rumble going down?
Saturday. So
Okay.
that's actually nice. I know some people don't like it, but I don't know. You don't have to go to work the next day. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, cool. Who's your favorite to win it all?
Ooh. I think Ronda Rousey's gonna take the women's rumble and the men's. I don't know. This is one of these weird years where there's multiple possibilities. And
are we expecting any surprise entrants? Like, I don't know.
Well, Rousey actually would be. There's been some stuff about her being at WWE headquarters. So
Okay.
If she's in it, she's gonna win it.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Okay. No, interesting.
It's a wrestling week.
It's a wrestling week. There you go. Also joining me tonight from the Christian Hanahara YouTube channel. How's it going, Christian?
Hey now. How you doing, man?
Doing very well. You?
I finally got some time to relax and sit down. I've been busy as hell, so I'm happy to be here. Just shoot the breeze, as they say in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You've been busy playing rock shows, and I'm sure doing all sorts of other stuff. And
yeah. Well, I appreciate it. It's funny. The guys will say, "Who's this pizowell guy? He likes all the photos." And I was like, "Oh, that's Piz, man." He's like, "Oh, Christian knew him, of course." But I'm excited, Piz. We're actually mixing right now a live record. We got this. We recorded from the soundboard, a multi-channel recording, and it's awesome. So I'm excited for you to hear, all the Cold Canyon songs live, real live. So I'm very excited. So that's coming soon. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys have a website or anything you want to plug?
No website, just we have Instagram. Spotify is where I usually push the music the most. We have YouTube. When you upload songs through what's called DistroKid, which is a platform where you sign up for that and you pay $10 a year or whatever, and it distributes all your music through the streaming platforms. It gives us like a YouTube channel that we don't have control of. It just, you ever find a band you're looking at and it'll say Avenged Sevenfold -topic. That's songs that get uploaded through these services. So we don't have control over that. I can't, reply to comments or check it or whatever, but Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. I still like it when people buy the songs because we actually make something from that. Spotify, it's 0.0013 cent per play or something, so it's nothing, but I want people to listen to us, bottom line. But I am excited about the live record. I'm a huge fan of live albums. Some of my favorite records of all time are live records, so that's going to be exciting.
For the cover of the live album, you guys should ape the Kiss Alive and like do the poses and like have some fire on the stage.
We hired a photographer and he got beautiful shots of us from that gig. And I wanted to do Rock and Roll Over, where it's like all the four heads, one's this way. It's like the cartoon heads. And, I wanted to do that, but they're, they don't want to hear about Kiss, they're all Jack White guys. And I hate Jack White, so I try to bring that classic rock to the band, but, yeah, I don't want to go too long about that, but yeah, I'm very excited, man. I'll be sure to remind people when that comes out, but very exciting to be able to put out a live record.
That is cool. That is exciting. Yeah, right on. Very cool. Also with us tonight from the Visited by Voices One YouTube channel, he is an author. He is a provocateur. He is also a retrofuturist. Lauren, how's it going?
I'd like to buy a vowel. Is there an E?
Yes.
Now, I fully expect Christian to do the Vanna thing. Hey guys, how are you?
When is Y actually considered a vowel?
So here's the thing with Y. It's a very important letter. You can actually tell how hillbilly-ish a state is by the amount of vowels that either begin or end the state. So it actually works really well because Alaska is pretty obvious, right? Right. But then you get to other states, it gets more complex. Mississippi obviously ends in an I, so you can see it, right? New Jersey ends in a Y, which means that sometimes it's a vowel, which means that some of the state is pretty hillbilly-ish. And if you look at South Jersey, it all makes sense.
Alabama.
Find me a state it doesn't work in. Even California, if you don't know California, you might think that's an odd one, but go to Northern California sometime.
It's different there.
That,
It is.
that A at the end is earned.
It's okay, Dan. It's different there.
It's not LA.
He said it very straight. It's different there.
The only one that breaks me is Wisconsin. That's the one that I can't really compartmentalize into making sense. But other than that, the rule pretty much works.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you, Lauren. Hope you're doing well.
Well, thank you. I hope you're all doing great too.
Right on. And also joining us tonight, making his debut on one of these patron streams. He is actually from the West Coast, as a matter of fact, so maybe he can fill us in on what's going on out there in California. Donald, how's it going, buddy? Doing good. Are you good?
I'm pretty good, yes.
Good. All right, awesome. Well,
By the way, I'm not from California. I'm from Arizona.
okay, I'm sorry.
Close enough. It's that way.
What's going on in California then?
As of right now, I don't pay attention.
You can see it out the back window, right? I mean, just part the curtains and right there it is.
Yeah.
But it's good to see you, Donald. Thanks for joining us tonight, buddy.
You're welcome.
All right, cool, very cool. Well, let's get things started. Have you guys seen anything? Any good movies lately? Bad movies? Any movies at all? Donald, I think your hand is covering up the microphone on your phone.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
There you go.
I've been sort of watching the classics.
Okay. Such as?
Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Children of the Dead.
Oh,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
My favorite one happens to be Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, and Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Child. The Dream Child.
wait,
Okay.
master or child? I hate to be that guy, but
For his dream master, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything after the first one was a nightmare in the real sense.
But yeah,
Two's good.
Two is amazing.
can we please? I haven't hung out in a while. Let's go a little while before y'all start shitting on my nightmare films. Just at least 15.
Sorry
minutes.
about that.
Give me at least 15 solid minutes.
Now look, for 1 to 3, I'm right there with you. I love them.
I said 15 minutes, Piz.
Okay, 1 to 3, I'm on. I love 1 to 3.
15 minutes, and that includes the time it took to eat the pizza.
Yeah.
So Donald is exploring the classics. You're doing well. Then you've got some classics. That's good. What about you, Dan? Have you seen anything?
Contemplating after this, watching the Dead Snow 1 and 2.
It's a good choice.
Get it, brother. Get it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well-
I can vouch for Dead Snow. I've not seen part 2 though.
2's pretty good. I just saw a new one. Actually, probably the first great horror film of 2022 for me. The Wasteland on Netflix.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, it's really, really good. One hell of an ending. Emotionally shaking for sure. It's a Spanish horror film. I don't know if there's a dubbed option, but you probably shouldn't do that anyways. So, so good. My first awesome movie of 2022. There is one on my radar called Hatching that IFC Midnight is putting out, and that trailer was really creepy. I think that one might be a crowd pleaser.
I've heard good things about that movie. I didn't watch the trailer though, but I've heard really good things about it. I did see The Wasteland though, and very. If you're already kind of in a down mood or a bad place, don't watch it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
actually waiting for Candyman and Scream to come out on Blu-ray.
Okay.
Candyman is actually now. I believe
Candyman
so.
is out on Blu-ray.
How slow is the world moving over there, my man? These movies have been out.
Well, not the new Scream, but Candyman's been out.
Okay.
So
I'm still trying to build up my collection. I lost a whole bunch of them with my last move.
What
that
happened?
sucks, man.
Did the back of the truck doors open up or something? What do you mean you lost them in the move?
I had a house fire.
Oh
Oh.
my God, really?
So the key is you need proper ventilation to cook the meth. Because what happens is the build up.
I
and
didn't
it's
involve with
carcinogen.
that shit.
There's no way around it. So just make sure you run an extra vent pipe.
But in all honesty, though, that sucks, man. Sorry about
That's horrible. I'm sorry. to hear
Yeah, that sucks, man. But you know, here's the thing, though: when you're rebuilding it, you cannot make the same mistakes you made the first time. And
I actually moved to a newer house, man. It's actually an apartment I moved to,
okay,
Mhm.
so I'm not going back to a house.
okay, cool. Yeah, The Wasteland. Yes, very sad movie, but yeah, very good. And the ending is very
it's heavy.
impactful. Yeah, very heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I did watch Last Thing Mary Saw on Shudder, which I enjoyed quite a bit. It falls a little short of being a classic, but it's worth a watch. Another one though, too, if you're depressed, maybe pass.
Yeah. What about you, Mark? Have you seen anything good lately?
Obviously, Scream 5, which we won't talk about for too long because Lorne does not like that film.
You can talk about it all you want.
got-
I can come back.
Just no, yeah. I mean, I've done a video about Scream 5. I enjoyed it to a level. For me, it's the third best after 1 and 2. But yeah, way better than 3, and I think slightly better than 4. Saw Antlers as well recently, which was surprising. I thought it was going to be more of a psychological horror film, and it was more of a creature feature, which kind of took me by surprise. Antlers.
Oh, Antlers. Okay.
Yeah. So I was expecting more of a creature feature. I was expecting more of like a psychological horror film, and it was just a straight out creature feature, which I actually was down with. You know, I was more on board for that than what I was expecting. Watching a couple of films that I've never seen, which I was trying to catch up on. I did a video about this as well. Tammy and the T-Rex, which I'd never seen.
Awesome.
Yeah, how that film escaped my attention for so long, I don't know. And I will say, 23-year-old Denise Richards is probably the hottest woman who's ever lived.
There's also a good psychological horror film that you might want to check into. I don't know if you've seen it before. It's also called The Wicker Man.
Oh yeah, one of the all-time greats, actually.
You talking about that Nicolas Cage?
No,
We're not talking.
It said no one ever.
Why y'all at what's so funny about that? I asked about why is Nicolas Cage funny? Can somebody explain?
I think it's not Nicolas. It's Nicolas Cage in the Wicker Man remake. That's funny.
I will say this about that remake: if Nicolas Cage wasn't in it, there'd be no reason to watch it.
No.
It's bad,
Agreed.
but "Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey" is a line I quote randomly all the time. So,
I mean, I think Nicolas Cage lost his value after the Drive Angry series or the.
oh, I like that one actually.
I love Drive Angry. Love Drive Angry.
Yeah. He's had a resurgence lately. He's got a theatrical movie coming out this year.
He's playing Dracula.
Yeah,
He's playing Dracula.
That's not a good move, though. Right there.
I can't wait to see him as
I
Dracula.
can't wait.
Can't wait.
I
I
can't
can't wait either.
But did you guys hear about the Wicker Man is getting like this really nice looking 3-disc Blu-ray release from Imprint?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's one to keep your eye out for, Donald, for sure. Looks
150
lovely.
bucks.
A bit
115
original or
bucks.
remake?
Yeah, it's huge price.
Wow.
Oh wow, I didn't see the price tag. I didn't think it was 115 bucks. Jeez.
Oh, 150. 150.
Whoa.
Pretty
It's-
sure.
Hey, the
Dude.
case is made out of wicker.
Is it?
By actual
No.
druids.
Then
That
that
would-
might actually make the price somewhat redeemable if it was, but because that
Mm.
Wicca stuff ain't cheap.
Some
know.
switch where it lights up or something, and I don't know. Like that's pretty pricey. Do I get a date with Brett
hopefully not a
Eklund?
fog
or-
machine to represent the flame.
I did just drop 200 on that full car set, though.
Yeah, we got a lot more films for that.
That's true.
Oh yeah, well I got 100 movie DVD pack for like $6, man. It's got
Whoa.
Killer
tons of
Shrews?
stuff. It's got great stuff in it.
Killer
Killer
Shrews.
Shrews.
is
I think
definitely on
they
it.
snuck the screaming skull in there like 4 times because they didn't figure I would notice.
Well, that makes sense.
They do. I don't remember what we were talking about. Lauren, what have you seen? Have you seen anything good lately? Bad? Indifferent?
Well, I saw El Paramo, which is the Wasteland in America, and I screamed that out at the top of my lungs that everyone needed to pay attention to it as well. It's not a film that's going to be necessarily, down everyone's alley because it's slow and dark and mean and cruel and all those things that I really, really love in genre entertainment. I don't as often look to have fun with horror as much as I look to kind of see how deep the depths go. And this one does that. It goes to some pretty astonishingly dark places. And it does so really cleverly. It's really well written. It very much is a body count thriller if you count rabbits, which is a very clever way of getting around the fact that there's basically 3 characters in the thing.
Yep.
So as it progresses, you get your body count and the emotional. It's actually more emotional because of it, I think, than if they just introduced what was that crocodile, that alligator movie in Florida, the hurricane. What was that thing called?
Crawl.
Crawl, yeah. So Crawl has the worst example of red shirts ever, where it's like they realize they just don't have enough bodies. So it's like, oh, people are robbing the gas station across the street. Let's just go there for a while. This is the opposite of that. It keeps everything so confined that it really ratchets up the tension when the violence, and especially where that violence is coming from, because you're betraying youth and innocence with that violence, and that's really uncomfortable and really cool to see explored. I hope people give it a chance because it's worth more than like most of the shit you're going to see from Blumhouse this year, and even most of the originals that'll come to Netflix or whatever this year's big buzzy, Netflix / Hulu horror thing is.
Did you guys see on the subject of shark films, Alicia Silverstone is starring in a shark movie called The Requiem, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know that it looks good, although the premise is interesting because it's like her house washes away and they're in the house on the ocean battling the sharks. So I'll see it. I've watched a lot of crappy shark movies this past year.
Well, none of them were as bad as House Shark. If you saw a movie worse than House Shark last year, I feel for you. Okay.
I like your review where you said like somebody had to take their pants off and get completely naked to use the bathroom. That was amusing. What's funny is I won't say who, but after I explained that scenario to them, I was like, who gets fully naked for a BM? And this person was like, I've known a couple. And I was
Hey, dude, you never had to take your shirt off when it's one of those like painful. You ever get those sharp turds where like it kills you, man?
I've never stripped nude for one, But I mean, I get to each. I mean, she wasn't wearing that many clothes to begin with, so it wasn't difficult. It was like one little thing, and it was gone, But it's like who does that? But apparently, people do that. To each their own.
Because in the interest of just being like completely transparent, I just looked up the Wicker Man release from Imprint,
Yes.
It is suggested retail is $139.95. It is on sale right now on their website at $119.95.
Okay.
So it's still way too pricey for what it is, I think. But I mean, it does have every cut of the film. I guess that's cool. But honestly, you're going to watch one cut of it for the rest of your life anyway. So
yeah. Shout out to Loki Vision Films. Thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. I saw Nicolas Cage in an interview state that he saw Malignant and that it is the inspiration for the way he is going to play his version of Dracula. Wow. Okay. Now I'm even more intrigued. I mean, I would expect no less from Nic Cage. He's not going to play it straight. That's for sure.
No, he's definitely not going to play it straight. One thing I will say, love Nic Cage or hate him, at least he still gives a crap, and you can see it in his movies. He's not, Bruce Willis at this point where, I mean, I think Bruce Willis will have a sleepover at your house if you pay his rate at this point. He just doesn't care. Nic Cage is completely invested and engaged in every character he plays. I get some people don't like him, but hey, I respect the guy.
I just got a message from Sam, and she has informed us that Mr. Sam has to disrobe when he uses the bathroom. And she makes him sit down to pee. So, damn. But thank you, Cody. Appreciate that $5 super chat, sir.
The more you know.
I know. Yeah. Maybe she didn't want me to share that. I did it anyway.
no, she wanted you to share that. There's
I'm sure she did.
pretty much no chance of her.
Oh geez. I agree with you. Yes. Nicolas Cage does still seem to care. So Nico actually says that Pig was nominated for a Directors Guild of America award today.
Pig is an amazing film and not at all what you think it is. I mean, it's a straight drama, and I don't know. I could see an off shot of him getting a nomination for it. Time will tell, but it's not the revenge movie that it was advertised as. But check Pig out if you want a really good drama.
Very cool. I'm not even more looking forward to that although Dracula is like not this. It's a Renfield movie.
Yes, I believe it is. Yeah. So
Is that what it's called, Renfield?
It's supposed to focus on Renfield, but
Who gives a shit about Renfield? It's all about Dracula, for God's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless we can have Tom Waits back then.
I was trying to think who was that in Bram Stoker's Dracula that played Renfield? Oh, it's Tom Waits. Yeah. Anybody else see anything good, bad, or indifferent lately?
I just been watching television shows, honestly. I started Ozark the other day. Everybody at my work was telling me, "Oh, check out Ozark." And I was like, "Oh, I'll give it a shot." I loved it. I'm having a great time. I went through a season in a day. I couldn't stop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy that a lot. I got stuff I gotta watch, quite frankly. I got this. I got My Girlfriend from Hell today. I'm gonna watch that tonight. You know?
Oh, you got yours already?
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch! I'm coming over tonight.
And I got that Soho movie. I gotta watch that last night in Soho. I told my wife about it, and she was like, "I don't care that much to get it." And I was like, "I think Dario liked it," and she's like, "Oh, well, get it. I trust him, Christian. I don't trust you." I'm like, "All right, goddamn, broad."
Yeah, mine came super quick. Like I got the notification that it had shipped, and it was here like 2 days later. So I mean, it came quick.
I hate to be that guy. I don't really care about this art so much. I love the regular art.
Yeah.
Because the first time I heard about this, my wife bought this calendar, right? And it's got like each month was like cool. It's like a VHS with in the background was decorated with what have you. And last year's February was this movie, Girlfriend from Hell. And I remember when my wife got it, I was like, Sydney, have you heard of that? I was like, no. And she looked it up and she says, oh, that guy Dana you likes in that movie. Because Dana Ashbrook. And it's like, oh my God, I got to see it. So I scoured the internet and I couldn't find any release for it. And I remember, I think it was Dan was like, hey, somebody's putting it out. But I bought it from Vinegar Syndrome, but I thought it wasn't them.
It's not them.
Who is it?
it's a sub label.
It's
Culture
Shock.
Shock. Yeah. I thought it was a 4K when I bought it. It looks like it's a Blu-ray.
It's a Blu-ray. I pre-ordered it the day it went live, and I haven't gotten mine. Now I'm angry.
Have you gotten the shipping notification?
No.
Ooh, okay.
I got it from Vinegar Syndrome though. I don't know where else you could have bought it. I don't know.
I need to retire my Laserdisc.
I think I'm catching up on TV today. There's that new Korean zombie series that debuted on Netflix, All of Us Are Dead, which I know zombie stuff's a hard sell right now because there's just so much of it, but looked interesting. They actually referenced Train to Busan in the trailer.
I was talking about that one the other day. Maybe on the last Region Free. I don't remember. But I saw the trailer for it. So I didn't realize it was already out.
I think it actually drops tonight, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, that's coming up. I started something called Archive 81, which is interesting so far. It depends where it goes, of course, but pretty interesting stuff so far. So today's my catch up on TV day before everything turns to wrestling tomorrow.
Am I the only person here watching Cobra Kai, or anybody else like Cobra Kai?
I gotta be honest with you, Piz. I really, really liked the first 2 seasons. I thought 3 was okay. I gotta force myself to finish 4. I don't know. Maybe the buzz has died down a little bit for me. I don't know.
For me, season 4 is really busy. Like it seems like they're trying to set up 3 additional seasons and have them kind of bounce off of 4. 4 is really busy, but I still liked it. But they're clearly not thinking about ending it anytime soon.
I mean, more power to him. I think it's great. Ralph Macchio got his deal back. I just loved how it started. He was the bad guy. He was doing all well, and then the other guy. I love the flip. But now everybody's a good guy, and I don't know. I gotta force myself to get back into it, but I really love those first 2 seasons a lot. They're simple, a little bit slower, but I don't know. I used to be ready for Stranger Things season 4. I was telling Sydney the other day. I said, these kids are going to be 40 years old when this damn season comes out.
Yeah. I think that's why they're kind of, because they're already talking about having season 5 of Cobra Kai out this year before the end of this year. And I mean, they've got to, because these kids are like, and like the Stranger Things kids, literally. Are we going to have Stranger Things in college? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
These kids are like, they've got to be 16, 17.
They growing up.
They're close. Yeah.
They're growing up.
Millie Bobby Brown's the youngest, and she's, I think, 17 in real life.
Yeah.
I think the kid who played Mike, I think he's about 20 now. He's probably about 6'4".
Yeah.
I have a photo with the cast, and like now that kid's taller than me now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Wrap up the first couple of seasons of Stranger Things were good. The last one I wasn't that big of a fan of, but don't be The Walking Dead. Just don't be The Walking Dead. Don't crawl out, go out on top. Don't, you know what I mean?
I will defend Fear the Walking Dead. It surpassed Walking Dead, and I know it's not hip to like them anymore, but it's pretty interesting. They've got like a nuclear fallout thing going on right now that's pretty cool. So
I haven't seen any of Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, I know. It's like if you fall behind, then it's like there's 200 episodes. So it's a little.
God.
You know what I loved? I never watched much Walking Dead or the Fear the Walking Dead. I used to watch Talking Dead, where Nicotero used to sit on a couch and just talk about the makeup, and I loved that. I used to religiously watch that, not the show.
Oh,
That's
a fun show. They've had some random. CM Punk was on there at one point, and
remember Manson was on one time. That weird bastard. He needs to get his shit together. I really like Manson. When he Pale Emperor is my favorite record he did. The son of a bitch has to stop drinking. I went to go see him in Zombie a few years ago. The bastard's gagging on stage. He had to stop playing. Drove 3 hours to go see him. I was pissed off.
Yeah, you're 50-50 with Manson. I mean, he can be great, and then you might get catatonic Manson.
I was devastated, Dan. I swear to God, I was so excited. I wanted to hear all these cool songs from Manson, and he gets up on stage. He looks sloppy as hell, number one. And one song in, he's gagging. They start hitting the drums for the beautiful people. He turns around. Zombie comes out on stage. He's like, "Screw it, you guys. I'm gonna try to sing half of this shit." And it's a zombie, zombie singing "Sweet Dreams" and all that stuff, and zombie. He's just yelling shit. So it was fun. I applaud it, but man, I was devastated. He needs to get his shit together. I don't know what the hell Manson's doing. Didn't he get in trouble? He's been canceled.
Not overseas though. I will say he's still, I think, able to not be fully canceled. But they never aired his Creep Show episode, which I'm very sad about. I would have liked to have seen it.
Yeah.
Who knows what's been cancelled? The Seven Dwarves have been cancelled now, or they're trying to cancel them.
Yeah, they were. Mr. Sam, he heard about the lies and slander against his good name earlier. But we have to take into account the source, and it's a pretty reliable source.
She might film me, so be careful now. You need to get like a deadbolt.
Maybe Sam takes her shirt off when she's taking a crap.
Speaking of shirts, Chris, get her the Fred Durst Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt for Valentine's Day. That's the ultimate Valentine gift. I'm going to keep reminding you of that until Valentine's Day. We had some questions about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that's coming out on Netflix. I guess it's still coming out on Netflix because Netflix doesn't seem to have promoted it in a long time. And I guess it's still happening. I did hear a bit of news today on it, as a matter of fact. Apparently John Larroquette will be doing the opening narration for the film.
Yeah.
So they're bringing John Larroquette back into the fold to do the
I thought he passed away.
Nope.
What the hell do I know? I mean, I these days is everybody's dead, so I thought he was gone. You know what I mean?
He doesn't work a whole lot.
He's still with us. He's still with us.
One of the most underrated Larroquette comedies is Madhouse. And if you don't recognize the name, there's a scene where a cat gets into a bag of cocaine. It's hilarious.
That would spoil the party. That's for sure. But yeah, are we excited for the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Lauren, I don't think I've heard you say anything about the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or at least that I can remember. Are you excited about it? Are you? What are you thinking?
I don't think I've been actually like legitimately excited about a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel since, I don't know,
The Next Generation.
No, before that, I just kind of take them as they come, and I'm a little bit more forgiving than I think some, but where I forgive and where I don't is different than a lot of people. Whatever. I mean, if it's bad, it's gonna be far from the first bad Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel, right? Mm-hmm. If I enjoy it for what it is, like I did with Texas Chainsaw 3D, which I actually think is a lot of dumb fun, then that's a big win at this point. If I think it's just kind of a grueling retread, or worse, the worst thing in that series for me, Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 is actually the biggest insult, because they tried to take something so underground and dirty and filthy and turn it into that kind of. They tried to get the slasher sweepstakes of the 80s on their side. You know, they tried to market Leatherface as a Freddy, and it's a betrayal of what that series is in a big way. I mean, the second film is a much better made film than the first in a lot of ways, but it at least was still subversive, right? It felt like a bunch of college kids that were just a couple of years past their prime, still making their idea of a satirical horror film. Like the third film to me is just this commercial studio pick, and I'm not interested in that at all. So I mean, I'll take the new one as it comes. Leatherface being 60 does not bother me in the least. In fact, I think in the Southern Gothic tradition, it actually makes some sense. People thinking, oh, he's too old, he won't be able to overpower teenagers. You don't know any 60-year-olds if you're saying that. You just don't. You're living in some weird, teenage
Halloween
fantasy.
Kills. Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
How old's Michael?
I don't. But you see, the thing is, I just don't see it as, if that's what's going to make or break people's opinion of this thing, we're not playing the game right. There's a great, scary Southern Gothic film to be made with an older Leatherface, definitely. But will they make it? I have no particular confidence in Hollywood to ever get any of these franchise picks right, which is why I think they shouldn't make any more of them. We should do new properties because they're going to just screw it all up. And if they don't, and I get a Texas Chainsaw 3D out of it, then okay, I'll go home saying that was dumb fun. Great, cool. Doesn't mean I want another one after that.
Okay. Dan, Mike, you guys excited for the new Chainsaw?
I'm kind of like I wouldn't say excited, but I think there's room for it to make an impression. It's not a franchise that is perfect by any means. There's few bad movies at this point, at least. So I don't know. I'm keeping an open mind, hoping that they do something different, but at least keep the spirit of the original in mind.
Yeah. Is it telling though that Netflix isn't promoting it?
Well, then we have the news that there was like horrible pre-screenings a month ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you never know. There have been some cases where that's been the case, and the movie's been excellent. But we'll see. I don't know. I hope. I don't think they shot it in Bulgaria this time, so that'll be one plus.
So, Horror Fan for Life.
Sorry, Lon, go on.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna take task to something. Horror Fan for Life. At no point did I say there's not a ton of original horror films being made. I mean, if perhaps you're not familiar with me, but I'm the guy always screaming about new projects. My problem isn't that there's a minority of films out there that are retreading. It's that we tend to just talking about those 8 franchises over and over and over. And that's where I think the distraction becomes annoying. I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to say that.
No, that's fine. My point was just going to be with Chainsaw Massacre, with the original film. It's like that. It's like that saying lightning in a bottle. They just captured a moment of time, a rawness that was just it hit at the perfect time. It was so new, so raw, and anything after that is always going to be a pale shadow of the original. And although I have stated in a previous live stream I've done, I like the remake probably more than the original. It's purely for filmmaking reasons. I enjoyed it more in terms of rawness, in terms of the power of the movie. That original film can't be topped, and anything after that, it's just, it just feels a bit shallow and a bit pointless to me. They just keep on retreading old ground, and maybe okay, they can have a 60-year-old Leatherface, but I think the problem with Chainsaw Massacre, it's like everybody's kind of like third favorite franchise. I don't think there's anybody who really puts it as their number one. So it's kind of like but I think a lot of people, like, I know, Piers, I know you say it's your favorite horror movie of all time, but I think you would say yourself it's not your favorite franchise.
No,
with a lot of people, it's
I've said this before. Like, it didn't need to be a franchise. It's almost better to think of it not as a franchise, honestly. And I love to, and I'm fine with 3, to be perfectly honest. 4 is just wacky, LSD, acid, bath, chainsaw. So I mean, I don't necessarily dislike those movies, but I mean, really, it didn't need a series. It didn't.
it's kind of like when you hear a joke that's really funny, right? And the first time you're just bowled over and it's the funniest thing you've heard in years and it's awesome. But then when you hear it from someone, a different storyteller tell that same joke the second time, you know the punchline. There's only so much mileage to get. And the more times you hear the same joke, man, you got to bring a great deal of skill to still get the laughter out of it. And I think with some of these, especially something like Chainsaw, because the original joke was so funny, if you know what I'm saying, it's especially hard to not look at every new incarnation as a little bit disappointing no matter what, even the chapters you love. Kind of the same story with Halloween, right? And it's definitely the same story with Jaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you can't repeat yourself indefinitely and expect to just be as impactful. So,
yeah. Don, we've not heard from you in a while. Don, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
We had a car alarm go off in my parking lot of my complex.
Okay. Are you excited for the new Texas Chainsaw movie?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool.
I also wanted to ask you guys a question. What's you guys' take on the Sharknado series?
Anybody want to throw out their thoughts on the Sharknado series?
I mean, they are what they are. I will say 2 is actually really funny. After that, I mean, you can only do so much with sharks and
I agree.
tornadoes, but the ultimate crappy shark movie that makes me laugh more than any other crappy shark movie is Ghost Shark. Where
that one.
Sean C. Phillips.
Sean, yes, I was in 2 movies with Sean C. Phillips. I never worked with him, but the shark can like travel through water, so it's like it bites somebody's head off at a water fountain at an office. It's great garbage. Shark's hilarious.
Which Sharknado had Jericho as the roller coaster, Carney?
The 3rd one, I believe.
That's my.
Yeah.
I love Jericho's take. He was talking about on his podcast. He goes, "Now I wanted to take the roller coaster, the Carney guy, very seriously. So when people on that roller coaster, I'm shouting, keep your belts on, keep your seatbelts on, and stuff." Kurt Angle was in one of them. Jericho.
Mark Cuban and Ann Coulter were in a Sharknado.
That's right.
I mean,
the one I like the most is when the Sharknadoes was like a nuclear Sharknado.
yeah, I think towards the end. But I mean, say what you will, I was kind of done by like 7. I'm Sharknadoed out now. But
was that All Hell No, or was that the 3rd one?
What was the last one? The last one's when they did the time travel stuff.
Okay.
And,
okay. Yeah. Time travel.
It got a little batchet. Neil deGrasse Tyson was in a Sharknado. one of the greatest minds on the entire planet was in a Sharknado. So say what you will.
It caught on.
Yeah, it caught on.
Yeah. We've actually got the world's biggest Sharknado fan in the green room. I'm going to bring them on momentarily. But Lauren, I know you talk about the Sharknado series constant. Where'd he go? He must have went to get his box set to show off. So we'll wait for Lauren to come back. I know he's a huge Sharknado fan. He's probably got the box set signed by Ian Ziering.
But getting back on the topic for the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm wondering what they're going to do for Leatherface.
He's back. He's old now, but he's back. Lauren, did you get the box set
of what?
Sharknado. You talk about Sharknado all the time.
I've never seen a Sharknado movie.
That's a bold-faced lie.
That's absolutely true.
Okay, I'm going to bring on the world's biggest Sharknado fan. Nic, tell us about your Sharknado experiences. He's speechless. He loves them so much. He's speechless.
I have never once seen a. No. I told Christian, I was like, oh yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna hop in. Christian was like, oh yeah, come into the patron stream tonight. I was like, yeah, I don't think I will because I feel like crap. And then I heard you guys talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre as I was watching. I was like, all right, I'm coming in here.
Piz, I got a Sharknado bobblehead. Look at that fucking thing. I got it in a horror pack. Horror pack sent me a Sharknado bobblehead. I got a Hasselhoff one too.
Yeah,
I
there's
had
a Hasselhoff one.
I had the Hasselhoff one. I think I sold it though. But I had
Sold
the
it,
Hasselhoff
man.
one.
You
I
ain't a
know.
real horror fan. You
I
a
know.
fraud.
I
You
know.
fraudulent son of a bitch.
The Hoff would not be happy with me. That's for sure. Speaking of David Hasselhoff, we've got the world's biggest David Hasselhoff fan in the green room. I'm going to go ahead and bring them on. Matt, I know you're a big Hasselhoff fan. Tell us what your favorite Hoff movie is.
That home video he did a couple years ago.
Oh, eating the hamburger?
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
That's pretty riveting stuff. Yeah. But how you doing, Matt? And we brought on Matt and Nick.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, right on, man. Cool. I like
man.
the beanie. Reanimator.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Nick's doing good tonight.
Yes, sir.
Right on. All right. We were talking about the new Texas Chainsaw. Nick, your excitement level?
Yes. Well, I mean, Christian tries his best every day to try to get me even more hyped for it. He's like, man, this movie's going to kick ass. It's going to be great. And like, I really hope he's right. I really do. I don't know. I think I like the look of the teaser. I'm sure most of you guys have probably watched the teaser. You know, the teaser didn't look bad. Cinematography looked good. It had a nice feel to it. This story might totally suck and the characters might suck, but you know, I feel like we get some good gore and a good portrayal of Leatherface. Like, you know, whatever. We could do worse. We've done worse. So.
Okay. What do you think, Matt?
I'm cautiously optimistic. Very cautiously. I think the trailer I like the idea of a 60-year-old Leatherface, like was said before. I think that's a cool concept. I don't know how well executed it's going to be. I'm kind of losing my faith in a lot of reboots and sequels.
Hey Matt, are you trying to use your microphone? Because check your settings. I think you're using your computer. I just want you to sound. I can tell you're trying to talking to your mic.
Yep. Let me see here.
Nice beanie, by the way.
Yes, that is a cool beanie. No, I kind of think the idea of a Leatherface who maybe has been normal for a little while being brought back into having a breakdown and then picking the chainsaw back up, that could be interesting. A lot of that those early reviews of the film, what the movie's about and what the characters are like in the film, definitely kind of bring it down a little bit, I think. But again, that may not necessarily be the case, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm with Matt. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll watch it. I am somewhat a little, because I mean, Netflix just is not promoting this thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they think people are going to watch it just based on the title alone, or I don't know.
Dude, Netflix is such a big deal now. It's probably an afterthought for them. They've got bigger fish to fry, so to speak, in terms of.
What production company made the film? Who was in charge? Was it Dark Sky or something? Or
I don't know. I know Fede Alvarez produced it. I don't know if it was.
Yeah. I read. Let your boy down there go again, because when I told him to fix his mic or check his mic, we kind of stopped him.
It's
Legendary. Is that better?
Yeah, you sound great now.
Okay, cool.
Legendary are the production company.
Legendary.
Okay, cool. Hey, that's cool. But go ahead, brother.
Oh no, that's all I had to say. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it, but I'm a little reserved, so we'll see how it goes.
Piz, with me, it's just like, what the hell, man? No harm, no foul. If it sucks, it sucks. Who cares? You gonna rip your poster down in that room if you don't like it, Piz? Of course not. You know what I mean?
It's not the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre that's been bad. Put it that way.
I love the journey, man. When I find out there's another Texas chain, I love Leatherface. I love seeing that big bastard on screen. So it's fun. I think it's going to be fun. If the movie is a bunch of social media influencer kids showing up to some hick Texas town to breathe life into it and they all get slaughtered, Fuck yeah. That sounds great to me. You know what I mean? I mean, what the hell? Trey Songz was in 3D. I don't remember anybody
And it
being
was
happy
bad.
about that. Guess what? The bastard did a pretty good job. I like Trey Songz in 3D. So, you know, no harm, no foul. Let's just enjoy the ride. If it sucks, well. You know,
There
it
you
doesn't
go.
affect it doesn't affect the ones you already like. You know, you move on with life after that. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be fun. I love that it's going to Netflix. I can sit my happy ass on my couch and watch it right then and there. Not that I did enjoy going to see Scream at the theater, but man, let's do it. Another Texas Chainsaw film's coming out. Cool. Let's check it out. You
It's
know what
not
I mean?
getting any like limited theatrical at all. Does
I
anybody
don't think
know?
so. I don't
I
think
think
so.
Netflix has like a lock release, like they're.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder though, is it gonna come out on Blu-ray down the road? Is my concern because of course I want to own all the Texas films that come out, and I think it's questionable.
That's
Most
gonna be
doesn't.
You're not gonna like.
Yeah.
You know, well, they got that. I was telling Nick, Stinky Tuna. Those company, they do releases of shit that comes out on Netflix. Whether it's like, I don't think it's licensed or anything, but they do. So, I mean, it's possible. I'm sure somebody's gonna bootleg Blu-rays of this movie, regardless. But you know, it would be nice to have like a making of kind of legit.
Yeah.
We can get a little making of kind of. I did read that.
Overseas, some do.
Yeah, I did read in some article today that the guy who directed it, I mean, I have to take it for what it is, but he's a pretty big fan. They got one of the chainsaws from the first movie that they're using in the film a little bit. I think they're not going to use it in a sense where it could get damaged from any more than what it was, but it's like one of the original chainsaws is in the movie. So you know, cool. Whoever the director is, you could tell he's a big fan of it. So I don't want to break tradition. There is no Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. There is none. Every single one's from part 1. Why break tradition? I love that. They've been Halloween 2018 and since 1986. So for me, that's awesome. Keep making a part 2. In 6 years, we'll get another part 2. They're basically 73 years old. You know.
Here's a good one. Thoughts on Titane, Dirk Jason Hall. I've shared my thoughts on it. I think it's incredible. Anybody else in here seen? I know Dan's seen Titane. Lauren, have you seen Titane?
I ordered it at like Girlfriend from Hell. Apparently, maybe there's something happening with my shipping address because it's not shown up yet.
Has anybody else seen Titane?
Tomorrow, my Blu-ray comes here tomorrow, and I'm gonna watch it.
I look forward to your guys' reviews. I loved it. I think it's a fantastic movie. More going on than I think a lot of people realize in that film. But man, it's batshit. It cracked my top 5 for the year. I am dying. I will watch each and every one of your reviews because I'd love to see you break it down.
I need to actually I'm going to do a live unbagging of Titane right here.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, I want to rewatch it because I mean there really is a lot going on in it, from how it starts to how it finishes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on there. And
I'm pissed off. There's no slipcover on that goddamn Blu-ray. This is bullshit.
But yeah, if you're tired of the same old, Titane is the movie for you.
It is, and it delivers. If you're a gore hound,
yeah,
it's a lot of gore in Titane.
I'm pumped. It was a budget blue too. It didn't cost me but a couple bucks on Amazon. So
it's not expensive at all. Yeah, so not expensive at all. Let's see. We have got somebody else in the green room. We've got a full house here. I don't know who this must be some kind of celebrity because they're wearing sunglasses indoors at night. Griff, is that you? Is that you or is that Tom Cruise?
Definitely not Tom Cruise.
Oh, okay. How are you doing, man?
Doing okay. How are y'all doing?
Doing good. Good. What are you into tonight?
Well, I went insane and I picked something up. Y'all gonna probably think I'm crazy, but whatever.
Oh, and
he's going.
That was the best piece ever.
But the government doesn't want us to see whatever the hell that was. They shut his ass out.
Hold on,
quick.
guys. Let me show you this, guys. Hold on. He'll be back. I think he'll be back. I don't know. We'll see. Wow. What an entrance. We've got Jamie in the chat. Hey, Jamie. We've got Jeff
Jamie.
Overing in the chat. Oh, that's right. This just dropped. Arrow's doing Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer on 4K. Cool.
That's cool.
I love me some Henry. I would love a Henry 2 Blu-ray, which we'll talk about some more movies that need Blu-rays soon too, I believe. Anybody seen Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about 3/4 of the way towards being what it needs to be, but that's way closer than I thought it would ever get. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I like 2.
Yeah.
It's better than you would think.
Yeah.
I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It is. It's very good. Yes.
The first movie, doesn't it make y'all just feel nasty as hell?
Yeah.
Like the whole,
Yeah.
like when they eating that damn fish in part 1, that's the grossest damn thing I've ever. They just said fish. It's a fish, you know. They didn't bread it or anything like that. They just threw the bastard on the grill.
Part 2 is pretty disgusting too. They shot it in like a very industrial, dirty, nasty like location, and it's cold and rainy the whole time. It's really nasty too.
Well, the first Henry, when it came out, it challenged the distribution chain completely because the film was getting good reviews from people like Roger Ebert. So it couldn't be dismissed.
Yeah.
But it carried either an NC-17 or an unrated, depending on the market. So most theaters wouldn't go near it. So it was like you could find it on the market, but you were asking people to travel. So it built up this mystique in the 2 years between its theatrical and its video appearance in a way that it's probably the last film to do that, to be honest with you. Because everything after that kind of came out in that, 14 months after theatrical window, but that movie hung out for a while because it didn't have a lot of opportunity to hit everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a controversial film at the time of its release because you weren't supposed to have films like biopics about serial killers were fine as long as there seemed to be some sort of justice at the end.
Right.
But you could argue that film almost glorifies the serial killer lifestyle. Because there is no like justice that swoops in and fixes the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, he gives. I mean, that was the whole reason. What's his name that the movie's based on? Lucas was able to. Henry Lee Lucas was able to remain active for all those years. Is he never did two people the same way?
Yeah.
And kept moving. Yeah.
And I don't think forensics was anywhere near where it was today, which is how those serial killers could keep going and keep going and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got all those guys back in the day, man, they couldn't get caught. That Gary Ridgway bastard, he murdered tons and tons of broads. And he passed a lie detector test.
They're not 100% effective. That's why not admissible.
I love Henry. Can I be that guy and ask a question that some of you you may roll your eyes? Because I know, Piz, you feel a certain way about Maniac. Do you see Henry as a slasher film? Or do you see it as just a biopic? I just think it's a one-of-a-kind thing. You know, it's so guttural and realistic. And, you know, is that reducing it, calling it a slasher film?
No, I mean it's a serial killer movie. It's a serial killer movie. You could say it's a biopic serial killer movie. Maniac is a serial killer movie.
The slasher thing is a very specific form.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard when you try and describe it for it to completely encompass it, but it comes down from the urban legends, comes down from the man with the hook stories that were passed down. Your Lover's Lane, your escape maniacs. They're all the core slashers really come down to that and the Agatha Christie 10 Little Indians kind of framework. It's a very specific form in the same way that kind of the Cyrano de Bergerac inspired romantic comedies are a form. And something like Henry it doesn't conform to any of the rules of the slasher in its conventional form. So I'd say no. Maniac at times almost feels like it, but no, I'd agree it's something else as well.
Yeah. We do have let's help out Punk Ron here. Punk Ron, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. He says, have you seen Don't Go in the House? I haven't seen it, and I'm not sure if I want the Arrow or the Severin edition. Does anybody have a preference over the Arrow or the Severin?
Oh, got mine in the mail today.
Okay, there we go.
But I have the Severin edition.
How is it?
The release is great. I love the slipcover on this thing. It's got I don't know what the differences are, honestly, between the Arrow and the, excuse me, the Severin. This does come with the TV, integral, and theatrical cuts, which I'm assuming Arrow also comes with. And I'm not sure if the slipcover is the same either, but I do love this slipcover.
Okay, cool. I wonder if it's got like a new transfer on it. Is it 4K?
I believe it does. It's a 2K transfer.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a new transfer.
That's probably
Honestly,
the best they could have done for that
2K.
movie.
I mean, these 2K transfers. I mean, yeah. Am I right that 2K is good enough?
It looks awesome. It
You know
looks
what I mean?
really, really good. Yeah.
For
for
some
what
movies,
they
yeah.
did with it.
For a Blu-ray, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mhm.
You're not getting 2K image on a Blu-ray anyway. So yeah, if you're going to be maximizing out either way, so that's fine. Unless you're going to have a UHD release, perfectly fine.
Okay. So we've
I hope he does I hope Griffin does the exact same speech and cuts out at exactly the same time.
Hurry
And he
up,
does it
Griffin.
4 times.
Oh shit! I had to reset my computer. It was I don't know. Yeah,
Websites strike again.
I know, right?
Goddamn viruses on that computer over there, Griffin.
what you were going to show us something?
Hold on, let me see.
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
there he goes.
He's gone again.
It's brilliant. It's a bit now.
Is he joking or is this a bit?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, he's still here. I was be like, is he? Hold on. This is in honor of Griffin. Hold on.
Do it.
There we go.
Griffin, what do you got up your sleeve over there, dude?
It's nothing important.
Don't
Well,
tell me that. You got us all waiting.
Oh, really?
Jesus Christ, Griffin.
Yes, Jesus Christ.
Uh-oh.
That would be
It better be.
that would be interesting.
Why are you doing it on this broadcast?
This is the place to do it.
This is the place. If Jesus is gonna show his ass up anywhere, it's gonna be at a Penn Spacer Street.
Your old Leatherface.
Mm-hmm. That is a very good scene, Nico. Yeah, that is a very good scene. I love the ending of the movie where he pulls the suitcase out of the back of the car and dumps it, and you just know exactly what's in that suitcase. And
yeah,
it
Can
did
y'all
not end
see it?
well. Hold on, let me. Matt, it's not porn, is it?
What the hell is going on here?
Anything can be called porn.
What is that?
Oh my God!
Oh, that's
shit!
It's yeah. Okay. That's the criteria. Oh, wait a minute. That's like on a picture tube TV. Isn't
Is that a CRT, Griffin?
That's a CRT, baby.
Oh, you're is it the TV you're showing us? Is that
Yeah.
okay? Where'd it go? What the hell is going on?
I decided to go on Facebook Marketplace, and the guy was giving one away. I'm just like,
Nice.
I got to do it. I got to pick one up. So I'm going ultimate hipster.
Now you can watch field sequential 3D movies that actually look like 3D.
You gonna watch Blu-rays
yeah.
on that thing, Griffin?
Yeah, that's what was playing on there. That's the Criterion Blu-ray of Carnival Souls on a CRT.
That's
That probably looks pretty good on. That probably looks good on a CRT, huh?
It does. I'm floored by the picture quality, especially of older movies. Well, it has the deep texture, for the darkness. Like horror movies look perfect on these displays. Like most flat screens, they can't compare.
Yeah, Piz,
Yes,
get that
man.
damn thing out of here. That curved piece of crap behind you. Look at that thing. It looks so
know.
fake and fraud.
So garbage. Actually, Wolfgang.
Get a Zenith.
Wolfgang. Do we have any recommendations for a 4K player for Wolfgang?
Yeah, I got recommend.
Take a recommend from the CRT TV guy.
I got a 4K display as well, but yeah, go with the Panasonic player. Those are pretty good. You're going to be getting Dolby Vision with those, The Sony ones only have HDR10, and I believe the LG ones only have HDR10 as well. But the Panasonic players are pretty good. Are good bad.
Cool.
I'm still extremely happy with my Samsung M7500. It was the second player on the market. It's obviously discontinued now because Samsung are no longer in the business of UHD.
Mhm.
But the stability of the image is pretty amazing. I'm not saying anyone else hasn't even surpassed them. I'm just happy.
I've got mine's an LG, and I've had it for a long time, and it's a good quality. So I've also got an LG region free player that I've had for many years. That they make pretty good players. So
Yeah, that's the same one I got. Beautiful. People ask me how it works. I said you press 1 for region A, you press 2 for region B. Boom, no problems. It's
I
great.
have a chipped Sony player that can play anything from around the world, anywhere around the world, including even if it's basically a computer file. This thing can immediately transcode it. I paid a little bit too much for it, but for the Blu-ray, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of physical media, are there any movies that either have yet to make the jump from VHS to DVD or Blu-ray, or movies that have an inferior or like an old DVD release or an inferior Blu-ray release that you would like to see get a new Blu-ray or 4K release this year? And Donald, I'm going to start with you, my friend.
Yes, there is one that I was hoping to have a remaster onto Blu-ray. It's been on DVD for Lord knows how long, but I don't think it's going to be done. And that happens to be Children of the Dead.
Children of the Dead.
2001.
Are you talking about Children of the Living Dead?
Yes.
You are the funniest guy I have ever met. I love you.
But are you being serious about your?
Yes, I'm being
okay.
serious.
Okay. Well, I mean that you like Children of the Living Dead. That's fine.
Yes,
We're talking about the same movie, right?
Yes.
Hey, Piz, in the Return of the Living Dead making of book, John Russo, he got asked about it in the book. The first statement in the book when he's asked about Children of the Living Dead is John Russo says, "Children of the Living Dead is the worst movie ever made." That's John Russo's own quote for this movie.
Best movie ever.
You know, the sad thing is, if they put this thing on Blu-ray, I swear to God, I would have to have a deep conversation with myself on whether to buy the thing or not. I would probably have to really convince myself not to.
I honestly would.
Donald, I completely support your desire for a Children of the Living Dead Blu-ray. I hope it happens for you. I don't see it happening, but a stranger. Listen, honestly, there are worse movies on Blu-ray than Children of the Living Dead.
Why
in
stop
my
there?
opinion.
Why don't we go straight to the top with a 4K UHD of Children of the Living Dead?
Vinegar Syndrome, I'm looking at you. I think they're the only company with the cojones to do that.
Yeah.
And you know what? People would buy it like hotcakes too if it was Vinegar Syndrome.
And to quote Lauren, everybody would say this movie is so underrated.
Well, here's the thing though, Vinegar Syndrome's got to pair that with Day of the Dead 2 Contagium, or I'll feel ripped off. So yeah, I need a double feature.
Why not make it a triple pack with Creepshow 3?
Creepshow 3, there you go.
Does it come with a barf bag?
that would be great marketing. That would be great marketing.
I want a Children of Living Dead barf bag.
I like that idea. Nick, are there any movies that you want to get a new or upgraded physical media release this year?
Well, I mean, I still want a P2 Blu-ray released in the States. That never came out over here in the States. As far as I know, that's just region B, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I'd like a P2 Blu-ray just to be released in this region. But trying to think, I want to. Well, you know what? I'll say it. Screw it. I don't care. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 4K. Give me that shit.
Okay.
I
Poor
I
Nick.
talked to Christian about that. I mean, we know how Scream Factory. What?
That's just as soon as you say Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, it gets more quiet than a funeral home in this goddamn street.
You know what? It's funny because I don't care what you think about that movie. To say that it's not well shot, you're lying to yourself. It is well shot. That 16mm look is awesome. And I'd love to see a 4K transfer of that. Christian, I know you and I have talked about that movie would probably look awesome on 4K. But
Wait, that
I know
Devil's
that
Rejects
the
2,
issues
that
with-
16mm film would be beautiful, you know?
yeah,
I would
Yeah,
rather
so,
that
I mean-
be on 4K than the first one, the first Rob Zombie Halloween.
yeah. I could care less if the first one gets a 4K. Honestly, I don't think it's poorly shot. It doesn't stand out like the second one to me. But yeah, that's probably the top of my wish list. And you know what? Since we were talking about it the other day, screw it. Halloween 6 as well. Give me a Halloween 6 4K. Shit, you can give me a 2K scan and I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'd be right there. Yeah, let's do 4Ks of the producer's cuts and the theatrical cut. I'll get them both.
Is the producer's cut possible, though? Because that footage, even on Scream Factory's Blu-ray, it looks... You could see, like, the film elements, whatever they had, was in bad shape, and there's these weird lines that kind of show up. I think
Yeah,
they'll do
I
a
worry.
4K of the theatrical cut
Yeah,
if they
I don't
do
know
it.
if it'd be possible.
No, but that's still fine. That's still fine. I'm fine with
Do
that.
an UHD transfer of anything. It's just how good it's going to look. I mean, all UHD is a size of picture. That's really all the specs mean at this point. But so if you want something that's going to be a bait and switch and not be much better than what you got now, that's entirely possible.
Nico mentions Four Flies on Gray Velvet. Dawn of the Discs reported today that Arrow is doing a either a new release, maybe it was a 4K of it. So it Dawn of the Discs, they get their stories right most of the time. So I mean, I guess it's probably happening.
Great final scene. Other than that, it's definitely a lesser Argento for me, though.
It's solid. It's not. I mean, particularly from that era where he was just.
It's not an
nailing
out of the park hit.
Yeah, no. But I like it, and I've been getting all the Dario stuff on 4K, so I'm not.
What year are we
surprised.
talking about with that movie? I hadn't seen that one.
That was Argento's
72,
third.
is it?
That was his third film. wasn't it?
71, I think.
Yeah, I think
Really?
71.
Why have I not even heard of that? That's interesting.
It is a little.
It's
One that, Yes,
Is that the one with Michael Brandon? Is that the one with Michael Brandon, or is that the other film? I always get mixed up between Four Flies and Grey Velvet and the
Cat of Nine Tails.
You got Crystal Cat of Nine Tails. Yeah, is Cat of Nine Tails with Michael Brandon, or is
Four Flies on Grey Velvet is Michael Brandon, Mimsy Farmer. Trying to remember who else was in it. It's a little less known because it really hasn't been out there on physical media, but it's worth it. Just keep your expectations, you know.
It's good.
I see. I've kind of learned my lesson with some of these Italian flicks. I really try to shutter them because it seems like they put a lot of them out there before I try to buy some of these, you know. But I hear some horror stories about some of these Dario flicks. As good as some of them are, I hear some of them are just garbage bad. Am I right? Or?
Well, I mean, his
You know what I
early,
mean?
his early stuff is.
So he sold.
Four Flies and Cat of Nine Tails, which
Cat of Nine Tails I wasn't a big fan of. I was expecting a horror film, I guess. I don't know.
To Four Flies then.
Right. So what the hell happened? Did he sell his soul when he made Suspiria or something? Like what happened with Dario? It's just like all of a sudden.
I think
Tenebrae's great. Well,
I think I'll go up to Stendhal Syndrome.
Yeah,
honestly.
I agree.
That is, I've seen that one. I don't hate that one either. I think that one's all right.
I think after Stendhal, he finally felt the effects of the shrinking Italian film industry. Partially, it's because he did come to America briefly to try and make a go of it here. He went back, was kind of given the resources for a little while, but then, like everyone else, the money stopped coming in, and the films completely show that lack. I don't hate later Argento necessarily. I think things like Giallo and Card Player and Sleepless all have their moments, but I mean, it's not the Argento of old. And most recently, we've gotten outright, Sci-Fi Channel level crap.
His one unforgivable sin is Dracula. That is
I have
bad.
that. I have that movie.
I would say Mother of Tears is almost more disappointing because the pedigree it has to live up to.
Yeah, I get that. That movie's watchable. Dracula, I was just like, oh my god, I can't even get through it.
He's got a new one in the works called Dark Glasses or something like that.
Starring Griffin.
So I mean, hopefully, yeah, there you go. I'm hopeful for it. I really hope it's good. I mean,
at this point, Piz, you probably just say to yourself, "Hey, man, I get to see another Dario film." I mean, he's an old man, but he's still cognitive and doing okay. So I mean, that's cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're losing all these guys.
He's in his 80s now, isn't he?
He's knocking on it if he's not 80 yet.
Yeah, 78, 79. He's close.
Let's see, when was Mr.
Doesn't he
Argento?
hate everything? Like he's critical of
80.
so many movies.
He's 81.
Oh, he is. Okay, older than I thought. Yeah.
Wow.
The funny thing about these Italian directors, if you look at a lot of special features, they'll subtly take digs at each other.
Yes.
That's all. Lanzi and Deodato, like you can tell they don't like each other. I've had the pleasure of meeting some of them, and they will talk shit. It is hilarious. It's hilarious.
I love it.
They'll take credit for different trends in movies. They will lie about box office like crazy. I've heard some funny stories about it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those where it's like you don't know if it's just ego or if they just don't like each other. But I get a sense like it's both.
Yeah,
like it is. Yeah, Dan's not lying. That's
It's funny. Listen for it. It's hilarious.
If you don't have this book and you want to hear Italian filmmakers just shit on each other, this book is just interviews with basically all the major names in the field, and all they do is talk shit about each other. That's really the whole book.
What's the book called?
Nightmares. So you have
Spaghetti Nightmare.
Yeah. So you have Fabrizio, Claudio Argento, Dario Argento, Roberto Bava, Luigi Cazzi, Ruggero Deodato, Mimsy Farmer, which is probably the best interview in the book because he's incredibly mean. Umberto Lenzi, Lucio Fulci, Antonio Margheriti, Mario Pilati, Romanos Cavalieri, who, even though he's an American, and oddly enough, Michelle Suave, but oddly enough, the Terrence Stamp. I'll leave it out there. But yeah, no, this is an awesome book if you can find it for a reasonable price now. If you bought it in the 90s or the early 2000s when it was published, it was real cheap everywhere. But completely great if you just want to hear these people just talk crap.
Oh, yeah. Deodato is actually vicious, too. He's said some rough stuff.
Interestingly enough, I'm glad you brought that book up because I'm sure there's something in the book about this. It's one of the UK magazines, Scream or something. Maybe Mike knows the magazine I'm talking about. Scream. It's either called Scream or damn it. There's another UK-based magazine that gets sent over to Barnes and Noble. Anyway, I read they did a special on Lamberto Bava, the Demons guy, right? Demons.
Yeah.
And it was a vintage interview. And I was shocked to hear that he is not a Dario Argento fan because he claimed that when those movies came out, when those movies were coming out, Dario during interviews and press for the films was basically taking credit for everything in terms of the look of the film, the stories of the film, and Lamberto was really butthurt about it because he claimed he's like, I did the work. I directed these films, blah, blah, blah. He just put his name on it, but he's going out doing these interviews himself, claiming he's the creative mind for all the stuff you see on screen, et cetera, et cetera. So I was interested to read that after that, he had no desire to ever work with Dario ever again. So, and this was a vintage interview that they put in the mag. It was a new magazine, but it was a vintage interview that they put in there. So I thought that was interesting reading about that he did not like Dario Argento that much. Claimed he was a pompous jackass. you know?
There's an interview with Dardano Sicchetti on the Shock, the new Arrow Shock Blu-ray, where he says he kind of buries Lamberto, saying how when Sicchetti met Bava took to him and put him under his wing more than even Lamberto, and so Lamberto was jealous of how much Mario liked both Dardano and Dario Argento. So they're always digging at each other.
I love it.
Always digging at each other.
And the story of the breakup of the partnership of Fulci and Sacchetti is like epic. They basically just aired all their grievances in public as often as they could. So
I think Sacchetti did the same thing with Argento, because he mentioned that in the interview too. That
Sacchetti's a hell of a writer. He's from a writing standpoint, he deserves all the credit in the world.
I love it.
But Argento takes that credit though for a lot of Sacchetti.
I mean, Fulci would say things in interviews. I think it's even in that book is whereas he says, Lovecraft wasn't an influence to my work. And Sacchetti's like in his interviews, like, yeah, no, I was like fixated on Lovecraft in college, and you could definitely tell. And of course, if you look at the films, you can completely tell.
I love Fulci.
They bury actors and stuff too in those interviews. I mean, they don't care. Those the Italians, they have no filter. If they didn't like you, they're going to tell you that they didn't like you. Like Nico mentioned it in the chat on the Delirium Blu-ray. George Eastman is just dogging. Gosh, what's her name? I forget the lead actress from Delirium. Gorgeous, beautiful woman. He was talking about how awful she was to work with, and said horrible things about her in that interview. But
hey, is Claudio Fragasso in that book?
I think so.
Because that son of a bitch is my Piz. Demons. No, was it Demons? No. Zombie 4.
Ogre.
Zombie 4.
Zombie
4. Okay, I get the Blu-ray for Zombie 3 and 4. All right. I go to the special features of Zombie 4. They got an interview with Claudio and his wife. Thank God. I need that book because I love Claudio. The interview of Claudio Fragasso for Zombie 4. They ask him his inspiration for the film. He starts out the interview saying, well, no offense, but that Dawn of the Dead movie, it sucked. So I was going to make a better version.
They all say that. Like, without exception.
I love it. Claudio does not give a damn. He is the man. He just says whatever he feels like it. Nobody can touch Claudio Fragasso. Him in that Troll 2 documentary is amazing. He thinks he made this amazing film, and it's like he doesn't realize everybody thinks it's the worst, best movie ever.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's great. Yeah.
There's a part in what's that documentary about Troll 2? Best worst movie.
Best worst movie.
Where like he's watching an audience watch Troll 2 and they're cracking up and making fun of the movie. And he's just like,
why are you laughing?
He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it.
Oh,
and
my
like,
God.
And like he gets up in front of the crowd and goes like, why are you laughing? Like you weren't, he's like,
he's serious. The
he's
disconnect is
upset.
real.
He's very upset. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the guy in the audience goes, Mr. Claudio, why is the movie called Troll 2 and there are no trolls in the movie? And he goes, you know nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the crowd cheered.
You know nothing.
He no-showed a Chiller at one point because they thought that they were just advertising him as the Troll 2 director, and he got offended.
Oh, I'd be it. He's got a catalog, man. He did Monster Dog with Alice Cooper. Are you kidding me?
He did.
He did some really great movies.
He also destroyed Zombie 3.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, he did. Yep. He did some really awesome, awful bad movies, but yeah.
What's
We
that
got
movie he
Stinger in
did
the
with
chat.
what's that movie he did with the witch in it? Some kind of witch broad.
Beyond Dark.
Beyond Darkness. Beyond Darkness. He's got a
All
hell of a catalog.
classics.
All classics. all
Monster
classics.
Dog's got to be my favorite, man, because that's a blackout era Alice Cooper in that movie too. You
When
know,
I
his
met
early 80s.
him, I asked about that movie, and he actually took it fairly well. He's like, "Oh, it's refreshing to get asked about something different once in a while." So,
Mhm. Mhm. Sergio Martino is good. Sergio Martino is very good.
Top
yeah.
rate.
So's Lindsay. Lindsay's great too.
By the way,
Nightmare City.
by-
Nightmare
by the
City,
way,
great film.
oh, Nightmare City's still good. Yeah. By the way, the Martino box set, that Arrow box set, is on sale now. Arrow's doing like some kind of box set sale on their website, and that box set is on sale. I think it's $25, which is not bad for 3 movies, and 2 of the 3 are really good.
Grab it. Yeah.
Yeah.
High recommendation.
Let's see.
Martino is not in the book, by the way.
As long as
too much of a-
Claudio's in there.
He's too much of a gentleman to be in that
Yeah,
movie.
Sergio always kind of was. Yeah, he's one that I don't really remember any shit talking. I can't remember if it was Deodato or who, but there's one interview where they're talking about an actress, and it's like she was very unintelligent and difficult to work with. It was just like very casual, but it was fine. You know?
Matt, are there any movies that you'd like to see get a new or upgraded physical media release this year?
There's one that's on the top of my head just because I just watched it the other night. It's pretty obscure. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the movie Gozu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takashi Miike.
Yeah. I loved that movie. It's not great, but I would love to have a Blu-ray of that. I don't know who would put it out. Maybe one of Vinegar Syndrome's sub-labels or something, but I think that would be a cool one. Very unrealistic, but I think maybe a Jacob's Ladder 4K would be kind of cool. Something like that.
So Gozu is it's described as a horror crime movie. It blends Yakuza stories with ghost stories.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would also recommend Visitor Q if you want to get really weird.
Okay. I never heard of that one.
Another
It's crazy
Miike.
film.
Yeah, it
Very,
is.
very some strange stuff in that film.
Yeah.
Very cool. There's Garrett in the chat. Garrett, what's up? How's it going, man?
What's up?
Hope you're doing well.
What's up, Garrett?
Speaking of Nightmare City, we need like a 4K in Nightmare City.
Yeah,
we
that's a classic.
definitely need some new Nightmare City love out there.
Cool art too on that poster.
Lauren, are there any movies you'd like to see get a new or upgraded physical media release?
We're getting to the point where there's less and less, but we're also getting to the point where it's less and less chance that's actually going to happen. My big one remains Haunting of Julia. The Stroud adaptation, in my opinion, the scariest film ever made. A film that balances the supernatural and the psychological on a core level, unrelentingly bleak, dangerous in its presentation of characters and ideas. Just it's a masterpiece, and the fact that it is all but an obscurity that has pseudo legal streams available out there. It's a crime. It's just a crime.
Why is that movie not on? What's the issues with that movie?
There seems to be some questions about the film's ownership based on lineage. So no one seems very clear. A lot of distributors from the time period in Europe have gone out of business. So no one knows who has claims, how many of those passed down through hands legally and how many should have reverted. It's a big legal mess to figure it out. So, and the truth is, besides people like us, who's buying this thing? Who's going to pay for the restoration? Like, I think I might have to face life that, the widescreen bootleg that I have might be as good as it ever gets. But I will say, if you can find the Robert Towns score, there was a great vinyl pressing of it that's very available fairly cheaply. Do it. It's one of the best horror movie scores of all time. It's a movie worth celebrating. Similarly, here's another obscurity, but it's a thing that I think that, considering the people who worked on it, shouldn't be that difficult to do, but remains elusive. A Cold Night's Death. It was an ABC TV movie in 1973. Had Eli Wallach and Robert Culp in it. So not these are world-class actors of their time. And it remains something that at best you have to deal with bootlegs that are 4:3 and compressed and blurry. And there's no good reason for that at this point. I was hoping that when that Television Terrors came out from
Vinegar,
that a second volume would include it, but apparently I don't know if they're going forward because they haven't announced anything. So
you have a shot at that one, I think. I can, yeah. Vinegar Syndrome's a pretty good bet. I would also add Cast a Deadly Spell. Fun little movie that I'd like to see.
As a twofer?
Yeah, I definitely take a double feature of that. Necronomicon is another one that hasn't come out. Yeah, it's not great, but I do have a little bit of nostalgia for it.
Isn't Don Calfa in Necronomicon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see it just for that fact. I've never seen Necronomicon before.
If you're not an actual Lovecraft reader, you'll be a lot more forgiving, I think, is what it comes down to. But Dan, so have you seen the Night Gallery episode of Cool Air, which is also was adapted for Necronomicon? It's just like that episode of Night Gallery just nails it, whereas the movie flubs it, and that just kills me every time.
Night Gallery is fantastic. I bought season 1 on Blu-ray. I kind of separate Lovecraft film adaptations because I almost have to. I am a Lovecraft reader, obviously, but I don't know. I can separate it, but I get why you would have issues.
Are there any others on your list, Dan? I know you mentioned a couple. I know of some stuff that has been requested for a long time that is coming out this year. I can't say, but I think people will be happy. They are grabbing now, I think, like whatever they can. Mm-hmm. So some of this stuff, I know that The Hitcher, I think, is finally coming. I think that's out there. Yeah, as far as like Haunting of Julia, though, is near the top of that list. I think it's a crime if that doesn't get a big special edition. Yeah, if not a 4K, I'd be very happy if that just came to Blu-ray.
Hell, I'd be happy if it came to DVD.
Yeah. There's a lot of TV movies, though, that are excellent and nobody's basically heard of.
There's Satan's Triangle.
Yeah. There's 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, I've got a few TV movies I'd like to see.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting I'm Dangerous tonight, the Tobe Hooper made for cable movie. We were talking about Chainsaw, and I wanted to mention this earlier. The 25th of this month would have been Tobe Hooper's 79th birthday. Mm-hmm. So watch a Tobe Hooper Hooper movie this weekend.
And light up a joint and drink a Dr. Pepper.
There you go. If you can't get a joint, get like a big stogie cigar. You know.
Search down that longer television version of the Funhouse that gets even grosser, and watch that, because that's there you go. There's something I want released on Blu-ray. The TV version of Funhouse, which goes to all the uncomfortable, incesty, nasty stuff that's not in the movie.
Ironically, yeah.
Wasn't there a story about Hooper maybe a decade ago? Some broad beating the piss out of him or something.
It
almost died.
It happened not long before he died. Yeah.
Poor bastard.
It was pretty dicey.
Poor Toby.
Ooh, Darren's absolutely right. House with Laughing Windows, Blue.
Oh yeah, that is the best giallo you guys have never seen, probably.
It's the best giallo, period.
It's up there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always down to see a new giallo. I like that one. It's got a weird name. Something about Mrs.
Can I just throw out a couple?
Strange Vice.
Could I just throw out a couple?
That's it. Strange Vice of Vorth Ward, but I don't know.
Miss Ward.
It was good. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead. What have you got?
Yeah,
on your
no,
list?
sorry, because I know I very rarely venture into the physical media market because I've said in the past,
Mhm.
restricted by space, but I do occasionally when it's it's something that's essential. But in terms of things that need a Blu-ray or a 4K, this is pretty much old school cult UK stuff, which some of you guys may not have heard of, but and will never get released. Jack the Ripper, 1988 TV movie with Michael Caine.
Mhm.
Amazing. But film we meant to be for. I don't think has Paper House had any sort of
It has a French blue, and I have it.
Yeah. Overseas, yeah.
You can get that one on eBay for about $20.
It's a great transfer.
Yeah. And this movie, which I just bought a T-shirt the other day, Dead Man's Shoes from 2004.
It's
got a vanilla Blu-ray.
Nice.
Yeah. Just
Such
a
a good
bog
movie.
standard Blu-ray. It needs the full treatments. It'll never get it probably, but yeah, amazing film.
You can get it on DVD pretty easily, at least. But yeah, that's a great revenge movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great freaking movie. Nick, you got, or I'm sorry, not Nick. Griff, have you got any on your list?
Yeah, I got a couple. I would love to see. I'm pretty sure this one's going to happen. I Walk with a Zombie. One of the Val Lewton produced films was one of the last ones that needs to be put on Blu-ray. I don't know if it's going to be Warner or Criterion will put that one out. It's been kind of up in the air. Two kind of obscure ones I would love to see are both from William Friedkin. I would love to see his film Bug get put on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And I would also like to see Rampage. I've never seen that film, and it's been regulated to VHS. And the last person who produced it was Lionsgate, so who the hell knows who owns it now? And one more. I also want Brian De Palma's Femme Fatale.
I remember that movie being good. I remember liking that movie.
But it's one of the last ones that needs a Blu-ray from him.
Yeah, I remember liking that movie. Yeah, Rampage is an interesting film.
You guys were talking about TV movies.
Go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to say I wasted like 50 minutes of my life this evening, and I'm sorry if there's fans of it. I couldn't even get through the whole thing. The remake of Slumber Party Massacre, the sci-fi remake, was freaking awful. I mean, I couldn't get to the end. I thought it was terrible. And I also watched Escape Room 2 because I had so much time on my hands. I'm like, what does Hulu have that I haven't seen yet? I mean, both of them suck, but at least Escape Room 2 was like kind of fun. My God, Slumber Party Massacre was awful. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it.
I've not seen. Is that gone like sort of woke now, or is it still sleazy? Like, is it just gone?
Yes, but I mean, it's not. I mean, it has, but it's not to the point. It's not as bad as Black Christmas, but it's more or less like the filmmaker even made a point to be like, we're not going to show female nudity on purpose in this movie. We're going to make it to where...
That just defeats the object of a Slumber Party Massacre film.
They flip the script, and it's the guys who are having the slumber party or doing the very slumber party-ish things. And it's a guy who gets the long, soapy shower where the camera just sort of drifts all over his body.
Well, who's this film aimed at?
Good question.
It was aimed for you, Mike.
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know who it was. There were a couple of things in that movie that I thought were kind of fun. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it either. And I mean, the guy that they got to play the driller killer, I didn't like him. And then there's kind of a twist where,
oh my God.
I think it would be better received if it wasn't called Slumber Party Massacre. I mean, taking out the sleaze, I get it. I love Slumber Party Massacre. It's much better than the new one, but believe it or not, I didn't hate the remake. I actually thought it was okay, but you really have to separate it. I wouldn't call it overly woke. I mean, it's definitely not Black Christmas, but I mean, it is a 2021 movie for sure. I mean, those themes are there, but I didn't hate it. Actually, but the first one is head and shoulders above it. It's an all-time classic. I love Slumber Party Massacre.
I like
I've got
part
two-
2 the most.
I got two
Slumber
more
Party
I want to see on Blu-ray or 4K. Both are from Sam Raimi. I would love to see The Gift get a Blu-ray or 4K.
Yeah, that's
and I would
weird
love
it
to see.
hasn't.
And I would love for A Simple Plan. That is his best non-horror film by far. A Simple Plan.
Scott Smith.
Great
Absolutely
book.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a new one coming out?
Yeah. Well, don't hold your breath because that dude is like one a decade. So
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I love those escape room movies for what they are. If Hollywood, if that was the typical Hollywood dump onto the market films, we'd be in a way better world if that was the level of quality. They take concepts and go as far as they can with them. And are they programmers? Sure. Are they great? No. But I have fun with those movies, and that's more than I have for most regular Hollywood productions at this point. I'll take those escape room movies every day of the week.
I hadn't seen the
Yeah, I
second
like
one.
that.
I like the first one.
If you've seen the first film,
No, like I said, I mean the second one is fun, and just like the first one, the puzzles in the rooms are actually like there was parts where I was like, damn, like what is about to happen? But I just feel like both movies end so like unceremoniously and like, oh well, there's gonna be a sequel. Like come back for the sequel if you want any answers. I just hate. It's like, come on, man. Like I don't know.
That just remind me, Cube has not gotten the original Cube has not gotten a Blu-ray or anything like that.
It got a
Canadian.
Blu-ray from and I think Via Vision. We got a
They
Via
put one
Vision
out?
release. Yeah. This was years and years ago.
There's the Asian remake coming this year, so I wouldn't be too shocked to see Cube get some kind of new release.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Well,
That'd be good.
try and get everything that you
Christian,
want.
I was gonna say.
Somebody say my name?
You go ahead, Nick.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna say I heard you guys mention it earlier when you were talking about Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. I have owned Elijah Wood's Maniac for years, and I hadn't watched it, and I finally watched it last night. And man, that movie was something. I almost texted you like halfway through, and I was like, "He's not gonna kill Anna, is he?" Like, no, not Anna, right? And like the ending of that movie was very weird. Can anybody explain to me how he was dead before the SWAT team came in there, when obviously those are mannequins? They didn't actually get ripped apart. So like, can anybody explain that to me?
I took it as he committed suicide before they came in.
That's what I was gonna say.
I mean, that's definitely the implication
Well,
of the
or he
first.
could have died from his wounds, right?
I guess I do think it thematically it works better for him to have offed himself, and we get the internalized version of the narrative. But whatever. I like both those movies. So I'm
Now, Nick, now you see why I had it in my top 10 greatest remakes of all time. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I always want to
It
go
is
back
really
and rewatch
good, but
that
it's a
one.
movie-
But
I
It's
still
just
think
a movie I could never watch around my wife. That's the problem.
I still think the original film eclipses it a little bit, and one of the most horrifying scenes I've ever seen. It's not even a blade scene. It's when he jumps on the hood of that car and aims that shotgun right at Tom Savini's face. The way they shot that was so impactful. It was awesome. I mean, imagine you're in that situation. How horrifying would that split second of your life be? Seeing that dude with that double barrel just aimed right at you in the hood of a car. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You know, that first one. But
yeah, great freaking movie.
Yeah.
Great freaking movie. Yeah. It blew Tom Savini right off the car too after he shot
Tom Savini's head. Oh man, good stuff. Tom Savini was getting it on too, man.
He was. But yeah,
We need a Death Wish 4K.
I would go for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that'd be
also
cool.
Death Sentence needs a Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Readapted.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind an upgrade for Stepfather 2. That would be cool on my end. Rumpelstiltskin, I'm a fan of that little creature feature. That could get. I mean, shit. Give me 480 for God's sakes. That VHS I have. You know.
What about Milo? No love for Milo?
Oh, I remember that.
I loved Milo. I rented it I don't know how many times back in the day.
Rumpelstiltskin comes up a lot, like in different forums. A lot of people want that on Blu-ray.
It's a decent little, you know.
If you like the Leprechaun movies, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I like Rumple as much as the first Leprechaun, quite frankly. When I was watching the movie for the first time, as the credits are rolling, I'm like, oh, this is a movie. Kevin Yeager did the makeup. Oh, wow, they spent money on this. So I thought it was fun. I enjoyed Rumple, you know. So maybe one day we'll get that, you know. I wouldn't mind Charlie Band to cough up the money one day to maybe just give me one Puppet Master 4K. You know, I'm a big fan. What can I say? I love Charlie. I love Full Moon. I love those movies. So,
well, I mean, you'd think at least the first one. I mean, come on.
Well, my idea, I tell people all the time, Charlie should crowdfund the rest should crowdfund getting a 4K made of the first one if he needs to.
Didn't Full Moon didn't Band move the Full Moon offices from like California to Ohio?
I don't know.
Did that not happen? I think that happened.
I don't. I thought he was still in California, but I mean, he doesn't have the Romanian castle anymore. That
Bummer,
went away
right?
a long time ago.
So many great films he shot there, man. Pit and the Pendulum, Castle Freak. I mean, that castle was gorgeous.
Some of the best.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing, Charlie? Quit selling shit.
Subspecies was like the first to shoot out that way, I believe, after the wall fell.
Yeah.
So,
he bought a property in northeastern Ohio.
Was it a house?
to be Full Moon Studios, I guess, where they're just going to shoot stuff. That's not going to be. I don't think that's going to be Ground Z. Well, maybe it is.
Yeah, man. Charlie's probably saying it's getting expensive out here. We gotta get the hell out of here.
I'm sure it is. Yep.
All right.
Hey,
Take Jeremy
Piz,
on a trip.
Do you see what Charlie's got going on right now, Piz? He's working with your favorite person.
Jim?
Yeah. Attack of the 50-foot cam girl, Jim Wynorski's direction.
Oh yeah. I've seen him sharing that on Facebook. Yeah. Jim Wynorski's getting way up there too, but he's still doing his
He's
thing,
living his best life. The pictures of him on that set with them broads dancing in front of the green screen, he looks like he is the happiest man alive.
Yeah.
I need you to review that. You have to review a new Jim Wynorski film. I mean, you can't not review a new Jim Wynorski film.
I love Jim Wynorski. I love all variations of Jim Wynorski. HR Blueberry, Jay Andrews.
Blueberry.
Let's see. There's like 10 other Wynorski names out there he uses.
What does the HR stand for? I'd like to think it's Hot Rod.
Probably Hot Rod. Yeah, Hot Rod Blueberry.
I believe he used HR on Cleavage Field.
He uses HR Blueberry for his softcore stuff. Jay Andrews for like action movies. And of course, Wynorski for horror. So
I'll see Jay Andrews pop up, and I'm like, that was actually halfway decent. I don't know why you don't just use your name. I mean, you direct action pretty well on a budget. So,
Nico's trying to make me vomit. He wants to talk about Greasy Strangler. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
Oh,
so two Blu-rays I would love to see get upgrades. I think it would make sense. I would love to see Cronenberg's History of Violence. That Blu-ray is atrocious. It does not hold up. And of course, original Dirty Harry. That that Blu-ray looks terrible nowadays. It looks bad.
Dirty Harry.
We'd love to see those two get an upgrade.
You actually go out and buy these things if you really want them, as well as everything that's on the market now that you want. The business is in really bad shape. Last week, the whole physical media, Blu-ray, DVD, UHD marketplace was down 24.85% week over week to comparable week last year. And the scary thing remains that same week, 52% of everything that sold was a DVD. Only 36% was a Blu-ray. And it's traveled up to 11%. So the reality is we can want these things, but we got to actually buy them if we want a way forward.
I can't buy anything more than I already am. For God, my mailman hates me.
And I think that's a lot of our audience, but it's getting there.
Yeah, I need to go on. I've been holding off.
Yeah, I work in retail in basically a UK version of Walmart, and the company I work for, they're basically clearing, the entire company is just clearing out Blu-ray, DVD space. It's just getting rid of it because there's no market for it anymore. It's just it's taking up space on the shop floor. It's not making money, so they're just going to put clothes and groceries there instead because it's just taking up space.
Who needs that crap?
So, but I mean, if this is, the biggest companies in the country are clearing all their shop floor space of physical media. Then
the shelves are all empty anyway.
That's where the casual shopper buys their physical media.
Yeah.
The average, the casual shopper isn't going online to buy Blu-rays. They're going into supermarkets and buying it.
I wish they'd bring back. Let's bring back Beta. Let's give Beta another shot.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Let's bring Beta back. Does anybody have anything they want to say in closing before we call tonight?
I have a fun fact.
Oh, go for it.
All right, so I learned this today, and if all of you already know this, well, just please act like you're surprised. Let me get the broad's name. Hold on.
I'm shocked.
So earlier, I came across something about the tie-in with Alice in Chains and Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, and I was like, what the hell is the tie-in with that? The woman who plays, I think her name is Beth in Halloween 6, the girlfriend to the long-haired guy, she is the girl who posed for the cover of Alice in Chains' Dirt. And I thought that was really cool. Her name is cool. Mariah O'Brien, and that's her on the cover of Alice in Chains' Dirt.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. I know she's like an interior decorator now or something.
Interesting.
That's
easily
my favorite Alice in Chains record. I listened to that record.
That's her. That is that. Yep, that's her. That's no doubt. Like I've seen this a billion times.
That's her,
but I've
man.
never really. Yep, that's her. That's
how
her,
cool
no
is
doubt.
that?
Yeah, that is absolutely her. Wow.
I would love to meet her one day and be like, just twist it. Like, yeah, I know you were on some little rink, like some album cover, but like you were in Halloween 6.
Yeah. So I heard you posed nude for an album cover, some obscure band. Let's talk about Halloween 6.
I thought that's awesome though, man. Like, I'm not the biggest grunge guy in the world, whatever you want to call Alice in Chains. I don't know, but like that album, Dirt, is one of my favorite records. Down in a Hole, man. I mean, that's my song.
Yeah, I wore that thing out back in the day, man. Wore it out.
But I would have never guessed that. So what do you know? Yeah. What do you know?
Like I said, I've owned the Dirt record on cassette, Blu-ray, cassette, CD, vinyl, and like I've looked at that artwork a million times, and like it's never even. But yeah, that is definitely her.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy.
Do you like Halloween 6 more now?
I do, as a matter of fact. I'm going to go watch it right now. As a matter of fact. I'm gonna.
And it's so
It's
the irony
fun.
of like when you see her now. And look, I'm a Brother Kane fan, but let's call Fool Shine On what it is. It sounds like Man in the Box. So there's this weird parallel with all this stuff together now. You know.
You know what the funny thing is though? If you start Halloween 6 at the same time you start the Dirt album, they end at the exact same time. It's true. And the songs actually, the songs line up with the movie. It's so weird.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's amazing.
Like down in the hole happens right at the time where Barry Sims gets gutted. It's great. Rain When I Die happens right when the blood is falling on the little girl under the tree. That actually wouldn't be true. I think Rain When I Die is like track 2 on there or something. So that's not accurate. Anywho, anybody else? Is anything else on your all's minds?
I actually do have an announcement. There is a new podcast with my friend Chris McGibbon, Michael Felsher, Peter Brackey, and Kevin Ellis that they're starting up called The Spooky Picture Show. It is on Spotify right now, and I believe they're working towards putting it on YouTube. But Chris is awesome. Michael Felsher, obviously, you guys all know. Yeah. I'm sure some of the Flesh Wound guys will pop in there at some point as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and anybody who's familiar with my channel, they know
Michael
Peter,
Felsher,
and Michael Felsher too. So yeah.
Nice.
Oh goodness, Mike, where can we find you on social media, sir?
Right here on YouTube, Real Fifth Beetle, and same on Twitter, Real Fifth Beetle.
Cool. Dan, where can we find you?
Flesh Wound Features on YouTube.
Okay. Christian, where can we find you?
Christian Hanahar on YouTube, and check out my band Cold Canyons on Spotify and all that. Check us out.
Awesome new song, by the way, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very
really
much.
Cool song. Really cool song. Lauren, where can we find you?
Visited by Voices 1 on YouTube, at Lauren Dixon on the Twitter, and just put me in the search bar on Amazon.
Matt, this is your debut stream.
My debut stream.
I know, man. Where can we find you on social media?
Dream_emulator on Instagram and YouTube. You're not going to find much, but that's where I'm at.
Okay, cool. Griff, where can we find you?
Jesus Christ.
Grave Abyss. Grave Abyss at Twitter.
Grave Abyss on Twitter. Okay, there you go. Matt, so you have a YouTube channel too, right?
Yeah, it's mostly just a bunch of nonsense, and some music, a lot of music stuff. But yeah,
okay.
Yep, I'm trying
Awesome.
to keep up with it a little bit more nowadays. So
Awesome.
All right, cool. Well, hopefully this is the first of many streams with you, man.
yeah, thanks for having me. Really an honor.
Yeah, right on, man. All right, let's do some shout outs here. Shout out to Lopke Vision Films for the $5 super chat. Shout out to Simon Morris for the £4.49 super chat. And shout out to Punk Ron for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that, y'all. Let's see who's still with me. Shout out to Sting of the Scorpion, Sinister Observer. Who's that? That's a weirdo. Febzer and Scary Jerry 22 for tuning in over on Twitch. Let's see who's still with us here on the YouTube. We've got Garrett in the chat, Born to be Rad. Y'all check out his channel too. He's a good man. We've got Michael Myers Reacts, The Daily Ghost, David Vines, Captain Halloween, Nico, Darren Burrows, Dirk Jason Hall, Kubrick Lover 72, Gay Scream Fan JS, Lil Liam. There's Loki Vision Films, Gwen Plain. Excuse me. Dr. Strangelove, Darvaren 09, Ben Grimm. Let's see. Who else was with us tonight? I know Stingray was with us a little earlier. There's Stingray, Scratch Burno, Joe Reese, Brian Trash. Thank you all for tuning in. It was fun. There's Chris, Dr. CZ Death. Jeff Overing, take care, buddy. And thank you all for joining me tonight as well, for being patrons. I appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. And thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with us. We'll see you again in the very near future. And until then, take care, be well, and until next time, peace.